What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Critical Overload here. We're going to be talking about Scream 7 in this video here today. So the Scream 7 trailer has finally arrived. That alongside an official poster and some official stills that you'll be seeing throughout this video. So going over the plot synopsis, or the plot of the film, according to the press release that was sent to me. When a new Ghostface killer emerges in the quiet town where Sidney Prescott has built a new life, her darkest fears are realized as her daughter becomes the next target. Determined to protect her family, Sidney must face the horrors of her past to put an end to the bloodshed once and for all. So the trailer started with a couple arriving at the Stumacher house Airbnb, like 3C shared with us. We are shown the boyfriend interacting with the Ghostface animatronic that was also told to us from 3C. The real one then appears behind his girlfriend, who becomes the star of this sequence. She's hanging from the chandelier and then falls to her death, I assume, as Ghostface turns over with the knife, waiting for her to fall on it. I can say that looked a bit cartoonish, but it's probably going to look better on screen. This was shown later in the trailer, but Ghostface starts pouring gasoline everywhere, lights it on fire, and then walks off like he's Seth Rollins or something. Badass shot, by the way, of Ghostface outside the house as it burned. Love that moment. Sidney is shown getting a call. She answers, and it's Ghostface saying, "Hello, Sidney, did you miss me?" We get a brief shot of a crime scene that Sidney is staring at. Ghostface is still heard complimenting the town she's in, her pretty daughter, and then says, "Reminds me of where we grew up." Now, trust me when I say that they are doing their best job to give Stuthers hope with a line like that. We see a shot of Tatum hanging with Chloe and Hannah, her besties. Sidney is heard saying, "Wow, you sure know a lot about me for another asshole hiding behind a voice changer." Ghostface says, "I'm not hiding, Sidney, not this time." And we see Ghostface drop down from her attic, causing her to hide with her family. I love that shot too, of Ghostface dropping down from the attic. That was a badass shot. Eventually, Gale arrives with the twins, says, "Let's unmask this fucker." We get a shot of the twins at the bar, Ghostface stalking Chloe as she hides behind the bar. Now, we do briefly see Mindy giving Ghostface a whack in the face, and we hear Dewey's voice saying, "All your friends died for just being near you." So maybe they will dig deeper into the Angel of Death concept that was introduced in Scream 4, because I feel like Scream 4 introduced it and didn't dig into it enough for like a social commentary aspect of the film, or at least just for Sidney to have a more meaningful arc in that narrative. Give her more to do. I feel like Scream 4 didn't toy with that well enough. Now, we got to look at Sidney directing her daughter through a tough situation with Ghostface, and then the trailer ultimately ended with Stu's voice at the end saying this is going to be fun or something like that. We also got this very unimpressive poster as well. Now, I really don't like this poster, but I will say that the trailer was watchable to me, and that's it. It just didn't excite me much. But one thing is for certain, Neve Campbell is giving it her all once again. Isabel May seems like she's going to do a wonderful job as well. I love how this trailer introduces Sidney in that overly confident, been there, done that attitude we saw during Scream 5, but it slowly switches to the Sidney in crisis mode, who is desperate to keep her family safe. So we knew Neve was going to sell the terror even more this time around, with the focus shifting back to Sidney, but just seeing it was the best part of the trailer for me. Neve is just a wonderful actress, and I think she'll make up for any problems I have with this movie. Everything else about the trailer was just blah, more of the same. Not in that this movie is going to suck kind of way, but the trailer didn't do much to boost any excitement is the problem. It's not that Scream 7 is going to be bad. That's not what I'm getting at. It's the fact that the trailer is just a rehash of everything I've already seen countless times again with Scream 1 through 4. You could argue, oh, well, you saw it with Scream 5 and 6 as well. Yeah, but trust me when I say new characters really can enhance a trailer experience. I'm telling you they can. I know Sidney Prescott is safe going into Scream 7. So the trailer just didn't work enough for me, because what probably would have made the trailer better is including more sequences with Tatum, her friend group, what's going on at their high school, stuff like that. But this was a lot of just same song and dance. That's what it felt like. So to me, it's not doing anything to boost my excitement for Scream 7. Scream 7 likely will still be a great movie, but this trailer didn't impress me much. It didn't do anything to generate all that much buzz for me. I see a lot of you saying this looks like a fan film, and I can see where you're coming from with that, but it could be a case where the movie is ultimately better than the trailer. Kevin Williamson is officially a co-writer for this film. The press release email I received gives him a writing credit, so that's nice. I will say that a bulk of this is likely still Guy's, and Kevin probably contributed 20% while overhauling the rest of Guy's work, meaning Guy still did most of the work. That's my guess. What was your favorite part of this trailer, though? Did you like the new stills that dropped as well? I noticed we didn't see Anna Camp as well as several others. I'm going to point out Anna Camp, though, because that's who I was looking forward to the most in this trailer. It could be the lack of Anna Camp that really disappointed me. That's just me being funny. But hopefully she's in the next. I don't think the line from Ghostface about where we grew up means it's someone from Woodsboro, but I think maybe we get a killer pretending to be from Woodsboro. I just don't see a better motive right now than a Ghostface who desperately wants to see Sydney, the final girl, back in action. This person is the ultimate Sydney fan, and they want to feel close to her like never before. No better way to see your idol in action than by orchestrating the very thing that made you a fan in the first place. Some people will say that sounds lame. It sounds like Scream 4 and Scream 5. But what else should this franchise be doing with this woman 7 movies in? What else should they be doing? Because if we're coming up with all these different avenues of how to keep the story going, that only fuels the argument that Scream should have stopped a long time ago. Digging up Marine again is possible, but let's stop going that far in the past. I want to see someone justify Sydney's return, mostly with a story rooted in today's climate. You can piggyback off of some of the Marine nuggets. Yeah, sure. You can toss some of that in. But keep what is motivating this Ghostface rooted in today's climate. And I think stan culture wouldn't be a bad direction to go in. You can say, oh, they have already been doing that with Scream 4 and Scream 5 and even with Scream 6. Yeah, but that's the culture we are still in. There aren't a lot of new trends right now. Yeah, they have true crime, and I'm sure they will touch on that. They're going to touch on AI. But when it comes to the motive, what else is there that they should be doing with Sidney Prescott? I challenge any of you listening to this, type in the comment section a motive directly linked to Sidney Prescott that would be better. I just feel like when it comes to Sidney Prescott, we're becoming very limited in the motives that we have out there that are available, because we've just done it all with Sidney. We've done it all. Yeah, you can make countless Scream movies and just come up with any and all things, but at some point it is going to become a bit ridiculous. That's why we always try to stress you need to learn how to close the book on certain characters, accept that they have a shelf life, move on into the future. And now they're probably going to move on into the future with Sydney's daughter. So I wonder, how will they do that without including Sydney? Sydney's probably going to be here until this is all said and done at this point, because I don't see them rebooting this all over again. If they were to run into another snag, they'll probably just cancel it and just say, we're done. We're going to come back to this in the next decade or so and tell a new story that has nothing to do with Sydney or anyone. But that's why I keep saying you need to learn how to close the book on certain characters. Branch out, tell new things. Because going into Scream 7, there's literally only one motive I can see that would suffice for a character like Sydney at this point in her life. But let me know what you guys think about all this down in the comment section below. If you haven't already, of course, make sure you subscribe, turn on post notification at numbers video. In the description, I have links to all my social media accounts. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can message me there, of course, to let me know if there are any movies, news, or reviews you'd like me to cover in the future. And with all that in mind, guys, I will see you in the next video.